add some buttons now that will have one correct answer and 3 incorrect answers. So let's see what happens if we push Control. We have to go down to UI. I'm sorry, I right clicked and said UI, and we're going to add buttons that are Text Mesh Pro buttons. Now we don't have Text Mesh Pro installed into Unity yet, so when we click this, we're going to notice a few things. Let's just go ahead and say import TMP essentials, and then it's going to give us this extra option. Let's go ahead and install that too. I think a couple of students had issues where fonts weren't loaded in when we actually, so I don't know, I feel like that might solve some problems. So go ahead and now I have everything imported in there, and look what it did for us. It actually created a canvas for us. Now, so the button has to be inside a canvas. A canvas, let's take a look here. I'm swiping to scroll out. The canvas is like a clear window that goes over your device, no matter what size the device is. So let me turn the phone vertical, and the canvas changes shape. And the button now, this button is outside this canvas area. I could kind of drag it in there. Okay, let's change it back to this size. And so the button was moved. Okay, so now where's Buck at? He's way over here. The camera is showing what the player sees, and the canvas just overlays on top no matter what. Okay, some people understand that right away. Some people, it takes a while to get used to. Okay, sorry, just had to run and turn the lights back on. Okay, so now what I want to do is we're going to have 4 buttons. So let's do this. Let's select the button, click this over here, and holding Option on the keyboard, I'm going to click here so it sets its anchor right in the middle of the canvas. Let's double click and see where it went. I swiping out, it went right to the middle of the canvas. And I'm going to go ahead and just move it over here and over to here, and I'm going to change the shape. I'm going to take this tool and I'm going to just make it more of a square button, okay? And if I want to make it perfectly square, let's go 150 by 150. Let's see what that does. Okay, so 150 by 150. Now, if I open this up, I have text right here, and I want to set the font. I believe 60 will be a good size for numbers. Let me put a double-digit number. Okay, 44. Okay, so that's not bad. If it looks bold, maybe better. Depends on what you want. Okay, so let's make that button there. And now I'm going to try to make your life easier by copying and pasting this button. So you could just put Command C. By the way, there's the shortcut for your keyboard, Command C. And then paste would be Command V. So I have another button, and then if I have this tool here selected, you could see I could just move this one here. And then I'm going to Command C, Command V, paste this button. And then Command C, Command V, and paste it again. And then let's just rename these. So this will be button 2. This should be button 1. I think you have to hit return to make it actually accept the name that you type in here. If you don't hit return and you leave this field, maybe the name won't stick. So now we have 4 buttons. Okay, and let's select all of them at the same time. You hold shift and you can click multiple things, and then let's just kind of center them all. Okay, and move it down out of the way. Okay, and then finally we need we'll select the canvas, we'll right click on it and say we need UI text, which is Text Mesh Pro type of text. It'll be right there, and let's just give it a fake 12 plus 13 equals, and with a question mark. And this font size, let's change it to 72. Let's see what that looks like. 72. Okay. Now, why is it like formatted this way? Well, this text box, we could simply enlarge it that way, or we could select it, and I like to control it here. let's make it like 600 wide and the height 200, say. And then we have these little alignment buttons. We can click this to center it and center it vertically also. And let's swipe out, and yeah, not bad. I'm gonna change the height to 150 to just make sure that it doesn't interfere with those buttons at all. Matter of fact, I'll lower the buttons just a little bit. Okay, I don't want anything to happen there. Okay, and then you can resize these buttons if those are, if you think these are all too big. Let's see if I can do them all at the same time. 120 by 120. Yeah, they all resized together by selecting them all and changing the sides. So pretty cool. Okay, so we have, I'm going to label this the problem text. Problem text, so that we, going forward, we know what's what. Okay, so we have a canvas, we have the stuff in there, put the buttons in there. Here's your buck face. We could have added the buck face into the canvas, but I wanted to try it this way because the last assignment we had them in the canvas. So okay, have fun organizing this, and then we'll start coding a math problem generator in the next tutorial. Have fun.